Let's go ahead and switch things. So, hi Matrix, how are you doing? Can you say a few words for the people following us on stream?
Yeah, of course. Hello, people, and I'm doing fine. I feel prepared. Give me more questions.
Okay, so basically, you've been very active over the last 2 years, roughly, or year and a half in Duel Champions, and recently you've taken a step back. Do you feel like you can still come back into the game? Are you preparing anything? Are you looking forward to the next season of the World Championships coming up?
If the question is if I can, then definitely yes, I can come back to the game. That's been one of my strengths always, to relearn new meta game or relearn new cards. And I am thinking of coming back to the game when I'm done with my studies. To be honest, I'm still writing my master thesis. I need to get it done. And afterwards, I'm pretty sure I'm going to come back for the next qualification season for the World Championship.
Now, you were our champion in 2012. How did that experience affect you in terms of a gamer and in terms of a Duel C player?
First of all, it was a fantastic experience. I had extremely nice time having to go to some events together with Ubisoft and see the maybe not honestly pro scene, because this game doesn't really have the pro scene yet, but seeing the more professional side of being a gamer, it's been a great ride for me, and I hope to continue it.
Okay, so you're back in Poland today for Katowice. Now, you're originally Polish. Have you ever been to the IEMs in Katowice?
No, not really. To be honest, I do not follow any of the games that are being played here. I did play StarCraft beforehand, but then it just fell off, and this is not a game that you can enjoy as much if you just play it once or twice a week. And I don't play League of Legends, I play Dota, so quite obvious, and I don't play any shooters. So IEM never had a real, it was never really all that interesting for me.
Okay, and you're going to be facing off our current champion Avkall, but before you do, now you did challenge him during the World Championships last year in 2013, and you came quite close to the finals. Can you tell us a bit more about that? Explain how far you went and what your feelings about that experience.
Well, I did go to the semi-finals, and I feel like the game, our game, that Avkall won 3-2. It was pretty much a coin flip during the last game, and I went on a little bit of a tilt, because I lost. I won 2 games. I'm in a hype. Then I lose 2 games, and I'm surprised what the hell is happening. I should have just kept stuck to the Sandalphon and continued playing that, because Sandalphon had a really good chance of beating what was it? It was what was his champion? Akamas, yeah, of beating Akamas. 1 out of 3 games, it should have been easily possible. I started jumping strategies, that was my mistake. But for the last strategy, I decided I either go in big or I go out big. And I went for something totally unusual. I picked the Shalan deck by Tsutsu. I don't really regret it, because all in all, my attitude going for the second championships was, I know I didn't train as much as I should have to be 100% sure of at least getting to the very strict final. So I'm going to give it a shot and go as far as I can. And that actually really helped me a lot, because a lot of people have seen me as an underdog. So, you can be a little surprised, like, what, last year's champion's an underdog, but I was less active in the months coming to the event, and that helped me a lot to this chilled attitude and basically not really caring all that much just for winning. But I went there to have fun, and I had a lot of fun.
And what do you think of Avkall winning? Does he deserve his win? Does he deserve his title as a champion?
I think that this is a very inappropriate question, because if he won the championship, that it means that he deserves it. It doesn't work like this, that you can say, I don't think he's good enough to win, and it was a mistake of universe. I mean, who are you to judge that person?
Well, so basically what you're saying is that you lost on a coin flip. Do you feel confident today that you can get that chance of getting back at him and trying to win this one in revenge?
Of course, I feel that there is a chance, and I still feel it's coin flippy, as again I come in here not really prepared all that well due to personal commitments. But I think that both of us have a really good shot at winning or losing. It might end up being a 3-0 stomp for one of us, but I don't suppose it will be a horrible misplay fest, and you will not see a unfun games. You'll see good games. It might end up in a stomp, but it will be still enjoyable.
Is there anything you expect to see from Avkall? Any decks that you might have glanced at and try and counter that you expect him to play against you today?
I know that his main strength lays in the strong creature-based pressure and tempo plays, and so I am expecting him to play stuff maybe like Ishuma, maybe again Takana Osore, maybe we have Kelthor banned, so this is not happening, and it is possible maybe he will play Cassandra, because this is again a top deck here, but I don't really have a very solid expectations. It's rather a kind of touchy-feely, I think, in this area kind of style.
Okay, so is there anything you've prepared on your side? Do you think what might be particularly strong today?
Oh yeah, actually I did. Uraxer has helped me out a little bit before by talking about about the decks. And
if you say Kitten OTK, I'll be very disappointed.
No, it's not going to be OTK. I don't want to tell what it is because Avkall is standing right there.
It's going to be Garant Gate.
Oh, interesting. That is definitely a very strong deck recently. Well, Matrix, thank you very much for answering these questions, and good luck on your duels. And yeah, there we go. I'll let you go and get ready and prepare, and we'll talk to Avkall in a second.
I'm gonna go full troll mode on.
Oh, good for you. Go for it. Go for it. Well, guys, we wish the best of luck to our ex-champion now, Matrix.disc, and Avkall is joining us now for a few questions here. Avkall, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Awesome. Is this the first time in IEM in Poland?
No, it's the second time. I was here with some friends in a year ago, I think.
Awesome. And now, you are our current champion. How does that... I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Matrix. How does that affect you as a gamer and as a person in your life and as a Duel of Champions player?
I don't know, man. It's really nice, you know. You get some more recognition. People ask your advice. People want to play you in the game, and that's nice. But other than that, I'm just any gamer.
Now, you won with Akamas, and lots of mistakes were made, but you did win. How did you feel the level of competition was during the finals and the semi-finals during the World Champion Matrix 2013?
Well, when I was there, it felt very high, but I think everyone did some big mistakes. Everyone was really nervous, but of course, they were all really good players.
Now, Matrix said it just before, you won, and therefore you absolutely deserve the title of champions, and congratulations to that. And as a preparation today, is there anything you prepared for us, anything you've planned out to try and counter something that Matrix might throw at you?
No, not really. I just been trying to focus on what I was gonna play. I had plans, but someone changed them, you know.
Obviously, Kelthor being banned here has changed a lot of things for our two players. So today there is a Xorm statue to be won here by the winner. I'm told you've already got one of these. What would you do with that Xorm statue if you win it a second time?
Well, my Xorm is feeling lonely and he needs a friend.
Obviously, Xorms do need friends, as all of us. So, yeah, basically, how do you feel about today facing Matrix again after such a long time? I know you've been playing a lot in the game, but is today anything special for you? Is it stressful? What's your feelings about today in particular?
Well, playing live is always more, how do you say, nervous than playing at home. At home you're sitting very comfortable. Here I'm on a stage. I'm not that used to it, and it gets to your nerves, I think.
Yeah, it always does, always does. Now, you've been playing a lot on a very high level in the game since you've won the championships last year. Can you tell us briefly what your experience was? What have you been doing in the game? Have you taken part in the leagues and championships and all that?
Yeah, there've been. I'm in the league that's coming up now. I wasn't in the draft tournament or anything like that. I didn't play to beat the Yak. I was supposed to, but I'm a bit lazy and it just didn't happen. But it's always nice to play with at high level with good players. I learn a lot.
Okay, so before starting the duels, now it's best of 5, no Kelthors allowed, but before starting, any last words you might want to say to our players out there?
Nah, just keep playing and keep practicing. Sometimes somewhere we'll be playing together.
Now, just as a reminder, Avkall joined us in DreamHack Summer last year, not knowing what was going to happen. Just want to take part in a small competition with his friends and his brothers, and eventually had to face off against his own brother, if I'm not mistaken, during the finals there. And believe it or not, he actually won his spot to the championships. That was, what, 8 months before flying off to Paris. That was a long time before he actually came. And what did you feel like when we actually told you, you're coming to Paris, man?
I felt like, man, I didn't believe it, you know. To be honest, I thought there was gonna be a lot more players there, but I was very pleased not to see all the best players there, I think.
And while Matrix is trying to troll you there, what would you say to yourself a year ago before you actually entered that competition about Duel Champions?
What I would say to myself then, go man, go. I was almost not going at all.
So there you go, guys. If you see Duel Champions come near you, make sure you come and take part in championships. You never know what will happen. Avkall, thanks a lot and good luck in this duel. We'll talk to you both afterwards, and enjoy. So give me a second, guys, to get back into the seat. There we go. Now, guys, we will be following live with the spectator mode, and I will try and do my best to give you a recap of everything that's been happening. We'll just give these players a few seconds here to sit down, settle on, and get going. But until then, if you have any questions for me in the chat, it's now or never. Feel free to go, and I'll do my best to answer. Don't forget, we are live for the next hour and a bit, maybe hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. So, yeah. Well, while they're getting ready, I'll try and see if I can do something to speed things up. Okay, guys, and we're back. They are setting up right now, getting ready to start playing. I can see Matrix looming over me, looking at me weirdly with his wonderful beard, and that's a bit disturbing, but I was just explaining how you were looming over me with that beard of yours, and it's a bit disturbing, mate.
My beard is looming.
Oh, it's the beard looming over me. While you're here, do you have a few words you want to say to any Polish player out there? Because we are back in Poland, your homeland. Anything you want to say?
No.
Fair enough. That was the briefest and most effective interview ever. Thank you very much, Matrix, and good luck once again. Okay, guys. Well, yeah, a Serpentfly statue would be awesome. I'll have to pitch that one to the devs there and the marketing team to see if we can get one done. But we do have Zorm today to win for the great final winner here. Once again, we are live at the BenQ booth here in Katowice, live from the IEMs, the Intel Extreme Masters. And we have to thank BenQ and SanDisk for their help and partnerships and prizes giving out here today. It's a great opportunity, and we definitely would like to thank SanDisk and BenQ for their help and their efforts that have been put into making this wonderful booth and wonderful opportunity happen. I can see Avkall already setting up there, but Matrix is taking a bit longer to get ready here. Just going to get rid of that. There we go. So we can see the scene slightly better. Now there's a bit of a hold up though, because the computer is not ready apparently, but we'll get that sorted out very soon. And in the meantime, once again, make sure you tell me in the chat if you have any comments, questions regarding the game or what's happening, and I'll do my best to answer your questions, or, you know, I don't know, make sure the stream is top notch and top quality for you guys. So feel free to ask me whatever you want in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer it. And if the sound is too loud, too low, do tell me as well, and I'll do my best to move that up or down. And in the meantime, we're still waiting for our two champions to get ready here. Okay, it looks like they'll be launching the game any second now, and as soon as that is Good. We will launch our spectator mode and hopefully it will work. Once again, the spectator mode we're using is a dev version, so it may yet go wrong. We'll have to wait and see, basically, but hopefully everything will work out. Matrix is now in position. And once again, we are playing a best of 5 citizen scenario between Avkall, our current world champion, and Matrix.disc, our former world champion. Best of 5 with no kill tour allowed. Should give us some interesting decks here. Now, don't forget, Avkall has been practicing a lot recently, whereas Matrix has been, as he said, taking some time off the game for personal reasons. But he says he's still in it, and he says he still should be good. So it should be an interesting game here today.
Dobra, moi kochani, zaczynamy zabawę z Duel Champions. Będą fajne rzeczy do wygrania, nagrody jest...
So here we go, both players are getting ready to face off. I can see Matrix is waiting here for Avkall. No, sorry, the other way around. Avkall is waiting for Matrix. Matrix is taking his time here, setting up. And once again, Keltor being banned does mean that Avkall isn't going to be in as good a position as he might have wanted there. Him being very good with that deck. Keltor being a champion that he uses a lot, that we've seen being used a lot during the last World Championship. And hopefully you can still hear me despite the guy on stage going full stream with the microphone. Please tell me if that's still good. If not, I'll try and adapt the microphone levels for you. And hopefully the background sound is not too high. I'm going to set up myself. Just give me a sec. Okay, guys, so here we are once again. Or here I'm back ready. I'm sorry about that. There was lots of sound coming from the stage, so I can barely hear myself. Hopefully the microphone sound levels are good. And I've just realized I've been shouting into the microphone when it's not necessarily needed. And as you can see, there is a Zorm statue here to be won from the this duel, this best of 5 game. And that guy on the stage is doing a great job presenting the statue, this wonderful Zorm statue. Some of you have seen it by now, others haven't. And basically it's a really cool little, or quite a big statue that we've made for you guys, for a very few lucky set of people. Don't forget that you can enter the cup that is going on right now on the French and international English forums to maybe win one of these Zorm statues. Go and check out the Serpent Fly for Beret the Cup on the forums there, French or English forums. And I think we are ready to go.
Best of 5, tak będzie to wyglądać.
I can see both players are getting ready, and let's launch our replay now, guys. Once again, hopefully this will work the first go. If not, we'll have to try again. And still trying to launch the replay here, guys. Give me a few minutes here. It does take time. There we go. Launching the replay now. Our 2 champions are in position here and have started playing, I can see. Okay, I just have to figure out a few small things. Do excuse this, guys. We will be getting into it very, very soon. And you can possibly hear in the background there that the game has started. We are loading our replay function as we speak. And hopefully we'll be able to go in and check it out any second now. Here we go, loading in. And it has failed to find our 2 opponents, which is unfortunate. Give me 1 little second, guys, to check what's happening, and I'll be back with you right away.
Ale zobacz, od razu sztandary jakie ładne. 2013, 2012. Takie pamiątkowe. A wszyscy skupieni, jak najbardziej. Zobaczymy jak to będzie.
Fajnie byłoby to na telewizorze.
No właśnie dlatego Piotrka szukam. Piotrek. Ja tego wygląda bez niego dobrze. To pomoc. Może być wodę, podawać wodę. Mamy będą lepsze
Okay, guys, and we're back. Sorry about that. We'll be switching straight into the game right now. And here we go. So Matrix is using Grunt. Now, as he said, it's a Grunt gate. So this is going to be awkward for Avkall. Avkall is using Zardoc here. And yeah, should be good. So once again, I am trying to follow you guys on the chat as we go. Hopefully this will work. And you guys can ask me questions as we go. But interesting, very defensive position already with 2 Olifants there. Those 7 health points Olifants really are going to help a lot. However, Garant Gate is really good. Don't forget that you can choose one of the top 5 cards of your library. And he's already going for the Garant Gate here. He does get a Hellfire Maniac. It's not the best pick. It really isn't the best pick for him to right now. But at least it does give him some form of attack power. Now, placing it on the 4th row would give him that potential possibility to kill off the Oliphant quite quickly. There we go. Going down the row, 4th row with dealing 4 damage to the Oliphant. Once the Oliphant attacks, then he'll be able to deal 3 damage back. So that means will be able to deal 7 damage, killing off this Oliphant in his go. Great move there from Matrix, who does get, I have to say, he does get the upper hand on this row. A very strong first row as well. That Imjester is going to be interesting too. When a player plays a card or uses an ability to target a single creature, it must target Imjester if possible. This could be interesting, maybe against certain spells, although there's nothing in Avkall's deck here that may be worth targeting that Imjester. But quite interesting enough, he is using this Path of Ancestors here in order to avoid the Imjester being targeted. I'm not sure if that's Avkall's doing or Matrix is doing, but could be interesting definitely there. Now apparently I have to change the header here. Sorry guys, I am going to try and do my best to give you the best possible streaming quality. There we go, the header has gone down. Hopefully that's much better. And that's okay, that's okay. That should work. Do tell me that's okay, guys. 2 Black Skull Vultures could come down. Well, 1 this turn. He's only got 3 action points. Does go for 1, but it's an interesting start to the game because very early on both players have come down to 12 health points on their champions. So I don't know, this is starting off quite rough. Both of these players have got some great cards in their decks. I have seen Matrix got a Peo in his hand, and that could be doing some more damage quite quickly. Although the Vulture does come and block off that first row here, giving him a good board control, lots of blocking power all along. Even though some of his creatures are going to come down now, it does mean that Avkall isn't going to be able to do much damage in this turn. So is Garant Gate a good counter to what Avkall is using? It looks like it could be, but only if Matrix gets the cards he needs. Now he's going for some very, very pushy and rush attack strategies here, using a Peo to kill off that Oliphant, opening up the row for the Lilim Succubus, to kill off or deal some damage to Zardoc. Lurk in the Dark does come down, nice counter there. Lurk in the Dark, when it dies, will be dealing 4 damage. Sorry, I'm getting the wrong cards completely. I'm a bit rough today. Lurk in the Dark does have Fear of 3, which means that the Harpy will not be able to attack, and it's a very, very effective counter card or a slowing card, or basically it will soak up a lot of potential damage here, blocking creatures from attacking very effectively. Earth's Grasp really needs to come down soon for Avkall, as if Matrix keeps on playing bears, this Earth Grasp will be very effective in blocking those. We shall see. He's got 6 action points, so he could be playing 1 Vulture and 1 Harpy maybe, or 2 Harpies and the Earth's Grasp, or just 1 of those Black Skull Crushers. Now Black Skull Crusher does have enemy spell ward, which could be interesting, though unfortunately Matrix is not playing any spells, so this isn't necessarily going to be very strong. It does have some great stats though, so he could play it for the stats, but the ability definitely will not come into handy. So yeah, guys, do tell us in the chat, who do you think will win this challenge, this duel, this first duel? Don't forget, it's best of 5. So anyone winning now still has to prove himself. And interesting enough, I would have gone for Avkall, to be really honest with you. Avkall having basically the more experience recently in the game with the latest meta. Matrix not being so used to it anymore, having taken a break. So I would say Avkall is in a good position to win from the basic knowledge we have of those two players. However, Matrix is already getting quite a lot of damage done. He's got some great creatures in his hand, and Avkall doesn't have such a strong hand compared to Matrix's. It does lead me to believe that Matrix could potentially have the upper hand here. But once again, we will see what's going to happen. Unfortunately, I can't move the camera too much. I know people have been asking, but the webcams are hidden up in the... not sure how to say those, but they're hidden up in the building construction works up there. So it's going to be awkward to try and reposition them now. So we're just going to move them now, unless you wanted me to move the cameras on stream, which I possibly can. Moving them up just to make it easier for you guys to see. And hopefully this is better for you guys so we can see the whole battlefield. Well, the Broken Bridge would be interesting if there was a player, and especially if there wasn't the Earth's Grasp, as that is an excellent way of opening up a lane and finishing off your enemy. He does have some amazing creatures in his hand, very, very strong creatures. The Lilim does come down, giving him that great defensive and attacking power in that first row. The second row now is going to be quite strong as well. The Lurker in the dark blocking off a lot of that damage. Okay, good. I'm glad, guys, that you approve of my change in camera settings up there. Thanks for your feedback once again. Feel free to ask me any questions you want in the chat, or give me comments about what's happening around here, and I will do my best to try and make sure the stream is as good as possible for you guys. Once again, we're live here from the IEMs in Katowice at the BenQ stall with our partners SanDisk and BenQ as giveaways. And if you're here in Katowice and weren't planning on coming by to say hi, do come by and change your plans, because there is loads to be won here today and loads of great stuff to see. Don't forget that we will be doing a Challenge the Champion after this, so if you're nearby and want to rush over after the stream, make sure you come over, because there is loads to be won, including loads of t-shirts and some great other goodies, including, I believe, some games. So I'm not going to say which ones, but they are both of the Might and Magic universe, and that could be interesting. Some more damage coming down here for Avkall, bringing his opponent Matrix down to 7 health points, obviously moving the Harpy out of the way of the Lurker. Does this mean that one of the Black Soul Crushers is going to be coming down on the second row here, putting more pressure on the second row against the Lurker? I don't know, but definitely moving the Harpy down is a good option, although Matrix could very easily block this row by moving the Lurker down, blocking two creatures at once in one go, so it may not be very strong. Interesting move here, going for a Goblin Hunter, obviously trying to target the back row creature here. The Succubus would be going down the next turn if nothing is done. This Black Skull Vulture is a good counter to the Lurker in the dark, so overall it isn't a bad move at all for Avkall here, who does get the second hand row control back, keeping also this third row quite dangerous with 4 damage output potential coming down. However, look at this hand: Shinoshi, Abyssal Lord, Succubus, Lilim, and a Chaos Lacerator as well. Lots and lots of damage potential, not forgetting the Broken Bridge, which could easily come out and clear up one of these lanes, giving him the space to then play the Lilim instead on that third row, putting some more damage potential down on the board, as well as lots of health points. Let's not forget 8 health points, 3 damage, and 1 retaliation do make the Lilim one of the best cards in the game as far as I'm concerned. A great shooter card that you should absolutely play if you're playing Inferno. It's one of those cards you cannot really go without in Inferno, because it really does give you a very strong firepower with so much health. It's just a ridiculous card. So he does go for the attack, balancing out quite evenly those damage points on the heroes here. 7 all, meaning that Avkall isn't in as good a position as he thought he would be. Now let's stay polite in the chat, guys, as we don't want to see anyone being banned because of rude words. That is always unfortunate. Let's also avoid politics if we can, guys. That would be nice. Thanks a lot. And back to the game. He is going for the defensive move I was talking about by moving the lurker down. Obviously a good move there, but he is leaving himself quite vulnerable here on this second row. The Lilim Succubus, could go down very quickly with that Goblin Hunter, leaving 3 damage to be dealt to his hero. Garant coming down to 4 health points will mean he's very, very vulnerable right now. 1 boosted Peo or 2 small attacks would be enough to finish him off. So he has to be careful. Matrix is playing this very dangerously now. He did come out with the Abyssal Lord, giving him an extremely strong top row that Avkall may want to counter here, and it's going to be in these next 2 turns, I think, that we will see a victory or a loss for one of our players, or both, as victory for one means a loss for another. But here we go for 3 damage from the Black Skull Vulture. Maybe that open second row. He may want to move the Black Skull Vulture up, maybe for a more defensive positioning, but with 4 health left, he's not going to be able to do much here, so it's going to be a hard decision to take. That first row definitely needs to be countered, as 8 defense, or 8, damage output would be sufficient to kill off Avkall's Zardoc. Now we do have War Tent here that could give +2 damage to one of these creatures. Now he could boost up his creature on the second row, dealing 5 damage, and this would be very, very problematic for Matrix.disc, as it would bring him down to 2 health points. Moving the Harpies up, no, moving them down, interesting, going for very strong 4th row here. Black Skull Vulture and Black Skull Crusher come down on the first row, giving him lots of health points and lots of damage potential in this first row. Countering, I would have to say, quite nicely this first row from Matrix's side, although it's still not enough to be able to finish off the Abyssal Lord or the Lilim in the next go. Although he does manage to open up the board very nicely here. The Lurk in the Dark is still very annoying for Avkall there. Peo does come down for Matrix, but it's not going to be usable at all, as Earth's Grasp is taking away from the quick attack potential on this card.
Dobra. No co? Może teraz nam pomóc.
It's going to be interesting to see which creature he decides to target with his Abyssal Lord. He could go for the Harpy. No, he doesn't. He goes for a finishing blow on the Black Skull Crusher instead. Finishing off the Harpy would have meant dealing a bit more damage on that second row, but he wouldn't be getting rid of most of the pressure power from his opponent. So it's potentially a very good move there. 9 action points left does mean he can play quite a few things. He can easily get rid of that 4th row or second row. So he goes for the second row. Interesting choice there. The 4th row having less health points. It's more worth his while using it on the 4th row. Coming with a Lilim here, probably on the 4th row. There we go, 4th row defensive positioning. Good choice there on Matrix's side, who does keep quite a strong hand here with lots of damage output on the board, lots of health points, and the Lurker still coming in strong, annoying Avkall and stopping Avkall from doing lots of damage to his enemy here. Will he play the Chaos Lacerator as well? He does play it on the second row. Really going for that defense, that strong damage output. But here we go for Tainted Door coming in for Avkall, giving him just what he needs at this point. Lots of damage, lots of retaliation, and I was going to be rude there, but a ton of health points there on his creature. Could be great counts on the first row. He really needs to start getting rid of the Abyssal Lord and that Lilim on the first row. They are such a problem right now for him. The Black Skull Vulture Rider could also come in handy with 6 health points and 3 damage through retaliation. Always nice to see. War Tent, let's not forget it, would give one creature +2 attack. Now, would he be able to use this anywhere interesting right now? I can't see any solution for him or instance where this could be interesting. Magic Peddler also could be interesting, getting that Forbidden Flame he may need. He goes for Swift instead, moving a creature out of the way, pushing his Banshee, his Black Steel Crusher onto the 3rd row, boosting up his Harpy and dealing 4 damage, giving him the first victory in this best of 5. Congratulations to Avkall using Zardoc's ability there. And there we go for our first victory for Avkall against Matrix.disc, basically what most people would have predicted here. And yeah, interesting move there, using Zardoc's ability very, very nicely indeed. And as we are waiting for both players to go back into the second game here, I can see they are about to start. I am curious to see what our champions will decide to play in this second out of 5 games.
Tak, to ostatni zostanie. My będziemy mówić, kto odpadł, nie?
No co, ale na liczenie robimy pompki?
Tak, na liczenie.
Dobra, to Grzesiu będzie...
Taking their time to choose, taking a sip of water is very important to stay hydrated. It's quite a lot of pressure being up here against so many people. There are about 50 to 60 people just hanging around this booth watching this game while people go weird on the booth here. I have absolutely no idea what's happening, but it does look interesting indeed. I have no idea what's happening. This is awesome.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And yeah, no Forbidden Flame. I'm so used to seeing Keltor up here, guys. I do apologize. Forbidden Flame is definitely not an opportunity. Even I get lost at this. There are a lot of different heroes, and Keltor has been banned from this tournament to try and give you guys a more interesting view. And yeah, I do apologize. Forbidden Flame is not available to Zardoc. It would have been for Keltor, and that is where the confusion comes from. Or at least my confusion comes from. As good thing I've got you guys in chat. You all know how much I love to go completely wrong and fail on live streams, so I'm really glad to have you guys here to correct me live. That's awesome. We are still waiting for them to go for the second game out of 5, and it will be interesting to see how these two players switch up here. And both players have been given a good to go. They are getting ready. I can see Matrix challenge Avkall right as we speak. And here we go for the second game. I am launching the spectator mode right now, and we'll be getting into the second game as soon as possible. Okay, and here we go. And interesting enough, both players have kept their decks. I'm guessing Avkall thought that Matrix may switch decks, but he didn't. And Matrix, thinking Avkall would switch decks, has kept his own deck. So we're back here again with some more Zardoc against Garant Gate. My guess is neither players have actually changed anything. And hi Jitsuni, you are live, FY. You probably don't know that if you're not following the stream right now. But you are indeed live, and here we go for our second game. And already, unfortunately, a very defensive move here with Bramble Beast coming out for Avkall. Whereas Matrix definitely does get the upper hand here with 2 creatures on the board already. But let's see the hands, and quickly we do see that Avkall has got an interesting hand here. Lots of good defense quite early on for Oliphant. The Black Skull Vulture will be nice. Black Skull Crusher as well isn't going to be seeing the enemy's spell ward being used too much again once in this game. And Earthquake could be interesting as well to get rid of those small creatures early on. Interesting move here, going for a more aggressive rush move on the top row instead of trying to block off that second row. Garant Gate could be in progress here for Matrix 6. It would be interesting to see and fun to see some great plays here. Garant Gate coming in, and ooh, gorgeous Abyssal Lord on the 4th turn. Coming down, giving Matrix a huge upper hand straight from the start. Lots of attack potential here, already dealing some damage to his opponent. And putting Avkall in a very tricky situation here. What is he going to be doing? There isn't much he can do to counter here. He needs to start dealing damage. Maybe the Black Skull Vulture Rider. It's hard to say. Hard to say indeed. Now, do we not have any in-game sounds? Hopefully you can hear the in-game sounds now. And I'm trying to adapt the sound volumes as we go so that I can hear it as well. Or not. Okay, well, this is going to definitely be a very tricky situation for Avkall. That Abyssal Lord is going to be so strong, just so strong. There is absolutely nothing in Avkall's deck right now that can enable him to kill it off. He could definitely deal some damage to it, but definitely not enough right now. And he needs to think about this one very carefully. The best creature here, or the only creature he can play that wouldn't be killed off instantly by the Abyssal Lord, would be the Black Skull Vulture Rider. as he only has 4 action points and the backsteel Vulture Rider only costs 4. However, this wouldn't be a very good use of this creature, absolutely not, as he'd be paying the full cost for it, and it still wouldn't be giving him very much on the board to deal with or to play around with. He does go for that in the end. Where will he play it? Now definitely this is a good solution because it's the only creature that will not die off. Interesting choice though, he doesn't go for a very aggressive move on the Abyssal Lord, he goes for a more defensive move. He's moving down the Oliphant, this is definitely a good move there. Trying to get that defensive move in, and the 3 damage to the backsteel Vulture Rider will be killing off the Chaos Lesser Racer, which, okay, I get his move, I do understand why he's done that. However, if Matrix wants to, he can take the Vulture Rider out of the game quite easily. Abyssal Lord does have attack anywhere, and this is where it becomes extremely strong, as not only does it have some tremendous stats, it can also just attack wherever he wants. And Matrix could go for a second Garant Gate right now if he wanted to as well. He does have loads he can play in his board. This is looking to be a very, very tough game for Avkall here. Matrix is definitely taking the lead. And this is where we realize how strong Garant Gate really is. Turn 5 and against Zardoc, basically Avkall is in a very, very tough position. Second Garant Gate coming out now. Nothing too interesting here. Maybe the parry, maybe the Lilims could be good. Lilim it is with 3 damage and 8 health. That is an interesting defensive choice, although it does still give him very strong attack power. Where will he basically go? Ooh, that guys is what I call a strong 4th row. 8 damage output in that row. Black Skull Vulture Rider coming down. Unfortunately, he should have attacked maybe with the Abyssal Lord first in order not to lose his own creature, but there we go, small mistake maybe on Matrix's side. This guys looks like to me Matrix is going to be coming in very strong with this second game and equalizing the scores, bringing himself back to 1-1. He still has to win though, but it just looks so well on the way here for him. Avkall not having anything like Forbidden Flame is going to be having a very rough time trying to defend against this. He's going to be losing all his creatures one by one. He really needs to go either for an extreme aggression or an extreme defense. Either way, this looks like the game is going to be going in Matrix.disc's favor here. And he did choose a good deck. Definitely did choose a good deck. That 4th row, guys, is so powerful. Abyssal Lord with attack anywhere, backed up by a Lilim with 3 damage outputs, 9 and 8 health points. I mean, seriously, there is nothing I can think of Avkall may have in his deck that could just even think about countering this. This is ridiculously strong here. He does kill off the main creatures there. Doesn't go for too much rush attack there. He could have killed off the Goblin Hunter quite easily, but no, he went off, killed off the Elephant instead, opening up that 4th row, moving the Lacerator up instead. And the only downside I can see at this is the Sahara Brute getting Bloodthirst and Enrage, giving him the extra +1 attack and retaliation. But that is a tiny, tiny price to pay here for Matrix. Ooh, interesting big Might of Nature could come down, and does indeed come down, and it will help him defend a lot. For those any melee creatures will only be receiving half damage. However, that much damage output is really going to be very strong. Now, it does mean the Abyssal Lord will only be hitting for 2 damage, as well as the Lilim only hitting for 1. But look at that, a second Abyssal Lord coming into the game. Lurker still being in there. Succubus in the 2nd, 3rd row. Lilim and the 1st Abyssal Lord. That is just such a strong hand. The Tainted Orc could be played quite nicely, though. With the 7 health points, he would need a lot of damage to be dealt to it before it comes down. 5 action points for the Black Skull Crusher would mean that Avkall only has 2 action points left to play around with. What will he go with? Both of these creatures he's got left, the Goblin and the Moon Phoenix, will not be affected by Might of Nature, so can be taken out quite quickly. Gosh, guys, this looks like it's going to be a GG very soon here. If he can open up this 2nd row, deal damage, that would be extremely, extremely good for Matrix right now. Is there a way for him to deal enough damage and kill off his opponent? I don't know. Let's see. This Abyssal Lord will be dealing 2 damage to the Sahara Brute, bringing him down to 3. That's not going to be enough. He does go for the kill on the second row, opening up the row for the Abyssal Lord to deal 5 damage, but this is not going to be enough still to be able to finish off his opponent. He needs that Peo Death Seeker. He does get a second campfire. Great pull right now. Maybe he can get the Peo Death Seeker with that second campfire, and we'll see how this goes. But he is in a great position here to finish off his opponent. As you can see, very little damage being dealt to those melee creatures. Might of Nature being extremely strong right now, combined with those Oliphants and those Tainted Orcs. That is a great card to play in your deck. So much damage can be soaked up that way. And the Fate Bender comes in, potentially giving Matrix more damage output. But does he even need damage output? It's hard to say at this point. And there we go, for 5 damage being dealt by the Abyssal Lord, bringing Zardog down to 2 health points. This is exceedingly dangerous right now. The Tainted Orc has to come out, just has to come out. The Oliphant as well. That would block off quite nicely with Might of Nature, and this would give Avkall hopefully the time he needs to come back into the game and start dealing damage to his opponent, or get more creatures out of the way from his opponent's side of the board. And my lunch has just arrived, which is awesome. Thanks a lot, Quentin. And big up to Mighty Quest Open Route, an awesome game. If you haven't tried it, go and check it out. It's also here at the booth today to play. So if you're here at Katowice this weekend, come and check out Duel Champions and Mighty Quest Open Route at the BenQ booth. Once again, we would like to thank our partners BenQ and SanDisk for their help and support and gifts throughout the weekend. And the Black Skull Crusher and the Oliphant come out here, keeping the Tainted Orc in his deck. I do wonder why. Now, the Black Skull Crusher does have enemy spell ward, but once again, I don't see that being too useful against Matrix here. He's not using any spells. But Might of Nature is just so strong right now. It's unbelievably strong. However, here we go, maybe for a nice GG. If he uses both of his Abyssal Lords on one of these creatures, he could potentially open up a row quite nicely, leaving the Fate Bender or another small creature to deal just enough damage to be able to kill him off. Is he going to think of this? He does indeed think of this. Here we go for the killing blow for Matrix.disc, bringing him up to 1-1, giving us a very nice tie as we finish this second best of 5 games. And yeah, interesting comeback. Great comeback, I have to say, from Matrix.disc here, who really does show that he still has it indeed against our current world champion. That is definitely a great GG there for Matrix.disc. And yeah, congrats to Matrix. We will be waiting for them to go into their 3rd game. I'm going to take a short 2-second break here to just grab some water. Once again, guys, welcome to the Duel Champions stream. We are live from Katowice. Avkall versus Matrix.disc here today, and only today, especially for you, live on stream. Both of these champions will be facing off in a best of 5 duel. We are currently at 1-1, and it's looking to be a very interesting matchup. Both of these players playing quite well here. A few mistakes, I think, maybe on either side. We will see. Obviously, you can see people dancing on the BenQ booth here. We will be live until the end of this stream. Yeah, that makes sense. Definitely makes sense. Plan to be live at least for another hour and a bit, but stay on as both our players get ready to go into this 3rd game. And both our players getting ready to launch, finding each other in the defeat or challenge another player mode. We shall see what they choose to play this time. We've had 2 similar games here, but with very different outcomes. The first one has been a Zardog strong for Avkall. The second one has been Garant Gate, exceedingly strong Garant Gate for his opponent Matrix, with some great pulls very early on in the game. Once again, guys, we are reading what you say in the chat, so if you have anything you want to say, any questions you want to ask, please do so. If you have any comments about the quality of the stream, the sound levels, and etc., do tell me as well, and I will do my best to try and modify that live so you guys can get the best stream possible, or at least as near as perfection as we possibly can get it. Once again, thanks also Kimindi for being here. Kimindi is the French community manager and is helping out tremendously on stream. Thanks a lot to you, Kimindi, for your help here. It's always great to see other people on the stream helping out. And thanks also to all our players here. It's great to see so many of you join us today on a Saturday. Obviously, you had nothing better to do. But no, definitely. Thanks a lot for being with us today. It's an honor and a real great opportunity to be able to stream for you guys. And hopefully you guys will appreciate this stream as much as I appreciate streaming it. And hopefully you'll forgive me for my small streaming mistakes. I am a bit raw right now, so you have to forgive me if I do make mistakes. And obviously Forbidden Flame on Zardoc would have been a very, very good feat from Avkall. And it would have been surprising to see indeed Zardoc not having access to the Inferno or Flaming Magic Skull. And both players are getting ready right now. Small technical issue on the stands there. We're having to change things around. I'm sorry guys for the wait. And do tell me what you think, guys, in the chat. What do you think these two champions will be playing in their next few games? What decks will they choose?
Major do tego samego pokoju. Co za debil wyrzucił nowy bulbulator?
Naprawdę opowiadanie żartów jest bardzo trudne, ale widzę, że parę uśmiechów wywołałeś. Masz chyba mocną ekipę wspierającą. To nie choli? No to kogoś rozśmieszyłeś. No dobrze, żart zaliczony. Kolega numer 2.
Przychodzi leśnik do leśnika, lekko zdenerwowany. No i mówi, Staszek, niedźwiedź swoją żonę zaatakował. Staszek odpowiada, zaatakował, to niech teraz sam się martwi.
Once again, guys, waiting for our two champions to be ready here. We've had a small technical issue on the set. As you can see, a guy working furiously behind the computer to try and get that fixed up as fast as possible for you guys. And hopefully we can be back with you very, very soon for our third match out of 5 in this best of 5 scenario here. Matrix having a bit of a problem with his computer. But those are the issues with live events. You never know what's going to happen. It's always fun and exciting to discover all the little things that go wrong and do our best to fix them live for you guys. Okay, looks like we're on track, guys, to go again for this third game in the best of 5. And as soon as both players are ready, we will be launching this. And it's quite a squeeze here today with loads of people cramming into this booth to try and find out what's happening and have a look. And, yeah, madness all around. Madness all around, guys. And I would love to puppet master this girl. Sorry, Mr. Jab, but that is not, unfortunately, anything I can do. And it looks like we are about to go live here, guys, with the third game coming up. Our players are in position here, launching the replay as we speak. And here we go again. Oh, interesting mix up here. We've got another Garant here for Avkall instead. Oh, it's been switched around. Avkall is on the right, Matrix on the left. Interestingly, Avkall is now the one going for Garant Gate, apparently. Quite trolling against Matrix, who's gone for Cassandra here. Now, Cassandra can be extremely strong with lots of small creatures coming on the board, lots of resource points also coming on the board, whereas Garant's Gate, as we've seen, can be so devastatingly good. And Oyo, please tell me what you think about the balance of the game. Is the game sound too high for you guys? I'm turning the game sound down now slightly now. Please tell me if it's good, because I can't actually hear it myself, so hopefully this will work. And hopefully this game sound is balanced out now for you guys. Do tell me once again in the chat. Weird things happening on scene here. And I'm trying to signal to our players that we're already on set. Okay, so here we go for the third game. Obviously, trying to kill off that Tithe Collector early on is definitely a good choice. You cannot leave it too long on the board here. Holy Praetorian, though, will give it quite a lot of damage protection if he wants it. Second Tithe Collector coming in, giving Matrix.disc a very interestingly strong start into this game. Fourth or third go or third turn, and already 2 Tithe Collectors and 1 Holy Praetorian on the board. Very, very strong start to the game. But once again, you have to be careful here. Garant's Gate can be very, very strong. Now, how does it work? Basically, Gate to Shield enables you to check out the 5 top cards of your library and to play one of those creatures for free. And you can play a very, very strong creatures, even if your resources aren't high enough, even if your hero statistics aren't high enough to actually play that, you can still play the creature, which means that on turn 3 or 4, you can go for a very, very strong creature quite early on and really puts a lot of pressure onto your enemy. Raging Glory coming down. Matrix once again going for a very aggressive 4th row here. He is very aggressive in these games. And so far it's paid off for the Grant Gate, getting a very good early start in that gate, but it didn't really pay off in this first game, where he didn't get exactly the cards he needs. And once again, guys, I do apologize about the stream setup. It's not optimal. We do understand and we do regret it. But we're doing our best to bring this to you. And Garungate coming in here. Abyssal Lord is going to be pulled out, I'm guessing, here for Avkall, giving him, once again, such a good, strong hand with Abyssal Lord. However, Matrix does have loads of creatures on the board. Lots of income coming into his hand and giving him also potentially so many ways of countering this. We shall see what happens. He has got some great cards in his deck and his hand. We shall see, but it's surprising to see Matrix so strongly coming into this game and coming into this replay, this battle. Okay, so he went for Chaos Lacerator, instead decided, very interesting move, killing off the Tithe Collector and dealing a lot of damage to the Radiant Glory strip from the start, and that is definitely a good move there on Avkall's side, not going for that huge damage output. And no, I am not going to try and pronounce the name of the town I'm in because I cannot speak Polish and my accent is dreadful. But interesting choice for Avkall here, bringing out the Hellfire Maniac instead of the big one. But basically going for something that will enable him to kill off the cards on the 4th row instead of trying to just bring out a huge creature. Three bridges though, that is very interesting for Matrix.disc side, who can easily counter anything Avkall shows on his board, brings out on the board with Gate to Shield, as he would simply be sending the creatures back into his enemy's deck or hand, and therefore cancelling out the effectiveness of that Gate. Interesting move, moving down the Tithe Collector. This isn't going to help him out too much. That Tithe Collector is just going to die off on the next turn, but he will be keeping his Raging Glory alive, which does mean that the Hellfire Maniac is going to be dying off in this next turn. And do I keep saying Chaos Lacerator? I don't mean Chaos Lacerator, I do mean Hellfire Maniac. This first row is also relatively powerful here. The Crusader Watchman is going to be dealing quite a lot of damage, or at least enough to be able to kill off the Maniac on the first row. There we go, bridge coming in, but not really doing anything more than opening up that second row. Some more great cards coming in for Avkall's hand here. But he will need to spend a lot of resources if he wants to play these cards. He's only got 5 action points in his hand, or on his side of the board. And that does mean he's very limited here. He can only play one of his creatures so far, as all of them cost quite a lot. But it's indeed the Lilim coming out here on the first row. good choice here, going against the Holy Praetorian, which has melee guard. This Lilim will be a great solution. Oh, Firebolt coming out, killing off the Radiant Glory, and the TIE Collector being killed off by Hellfire Maniac, putting Avkall in a very good position here. Great board control, and damage output potentials on the board here. Not much in Matrix's hand, unfortunately. He could use quite a lot of cards in this go if he decides to go that way with the River of Gems, giving him quite a lot of action points and resource. But this is going to be a very difficult one for Matrix.disc, who just simply doesn't have the creatures he would need to be able to deal with this. He does go for double River of Gem, coming up to 8. Now going for, interesting move, going for the Week of Training, giving him 3 damage on his Crusader Watchman, just enough to kill off. Actually, I don't know why he did that, to be really honest. I'm not sure if that was worth it, because he could have killed off, I believe he could have killed off that creature anyway. No, sorry, I missed that. He did a bit of damage to the limb, so I was not paying attention. He goes in and uses Week of the Mercenaries, boost up his own creature, dealing more damage to the Lilim in the back row, moves down his Holy Praetorian in order not to get it killed off by the Lilim. Good move there. And another Watchman does come in, putting a lot of pressure on this second row. However, Hellfire Maniac here is a good choice. Once again, being moved up does mean that these 2 creatures will attack, but it does kill off the Holy Praetorian and does take away the boost from the Watchmen. So both of these Watchmen are now unusable unless they're healed up, which is definitely a good move from Avkall there. He did lose, however, his Hellfire Maniac, but nevertheless, very good move. Broken Bridge could be a good solution here on the first row, getting rid of 2 enemy creatures and giving him the Watchman back, giving him a chance of bringing that Watchman back full health and therefore getting the +2/+2 bonus attack, or sorry, +2/+1 bonus attack and retaliation on that card. However, the card does cost 2, so he could only do this on one of these Watchmen. Or he could decide to play 2 creatures plus the TIE Collector. It's going to be a difficult choice here. Altar of Asher isn't going to be extremely useful right now. Loyal Griffin does come out on the second row. Again, going for more aggression and defense here. That third row could be quite dangerous, but no, he decides to go for a second row defensive attacking maneuver instead. Ooh, Sergeant's Imperial Devotion as well could be quite nice. Let's see what happens here. TIE Collector will be killed off, but that is a defensive move, especially. We go for Time of Need, though. Ouch, this could be a problem. Time of Need enables you to bring out a unique card onto the board and play it for free. He does go for Tower of the Smith. Now, Tower of the Smith means that when a creature of Tower of the Smith attacks a hero opponent, discards a card at random, which is definitely a great move here. He manages to kill off the TIE Collector, opening up the row, dealing some damage with the Lilim. The Succubus, I keep getting this wrong. The Succubus on the third row, dealing damage to Matrix.disc's hero and discarding one of these cards for Matrix.disc's side, killing off the Angel of Mercy on the third row, and once again putting Matrix.disc in a very awkward position here. Broken Bridge does come down, opening up that third row, getting rid of those 2 creatures is definitely a good move here, but Tower of the Smith is still down there, as it can only be taken away if it is if the creature that is upon it is destroyed. Indeed, that tower is so trollish. Now, Cassandra's Imperial Devotion is still in there, just potentially giving Matrix more health points, bringing him back into the game if he really needs it. He needs to start blocking off this first row, though. Wolf Captain coming down. He does go for the 4th row Wolf Captain instead. Trying to get rid of this Hellfire Maniac is definitely a priority for him right now, but leaving this first row open. Ouch! Leaving this first row open does leave him out open to a defeat here. Paradeath Seeker coming down, dealing 3 damage, 4 more damage coming in. Just enough damage to kill off Matrix.disc, giving Avkall this second victory in this 3rd game. Ouch indeed, Matrix.disc not trying to block off effectively enough. Leaves him vulnerable to a victory here, or defeat, at the hands of Avkall. Very nice game indeed from Avkall, who played that one very well from beginning to start. Small mistake there, I'd have to say, on Matrix.disc, but unfortunately this did cost him the game.
Romantyk, matematyk, polonista, historia. Sorry.
Sorry, Gregory.
Sorry.
There we go, guys. We did see a very interesting third game here, giving Avkall, using his opponent's own Grant Gate deck here, using that Grant Gate, gave Avkall the victory he needed against Matrix.disc. This is going to be very interesting, and lots of thought is going to go into choosing this next deck. We can see Matrix here switching things around, checking his own decks, and getting ready to go into Duel here against Avkall. And we are ready to launch the next game, and here we go for dueling against, or with Avkall against Matrix.disc, or Matrix against Avkall. Once again, do tell us in the chat, who do you think will win? It's 2-1 for the moment for Avkall, and this does mean that Avkall is in a good position to win this duel, this best of 5 scenario. If he wins this next game, it could be very, very dangerous for Matrix, and both of these players are getting ready. I can see them choose their decks right now. We are just waiting for both our players to choose their decks and launch the game, so we can then launch the spectator mode and go and follow their instant moves. And here we go, the game is launched. The replay is coming up any second now. And we will discover what our champions have chosen to use in this third game. Okay, interesting. It's going to be some Miranda game against, again, Garant, possibly Garant Gate again. Miranda is a great hero, and I've been testing her out myself here, and I've had lots of success with her. Now, she's really, really strong because she has access to some great spells, lots of town portals and instant damage spells out there, as well as lots of damage and evade, which gives him lots of board control potential there. Let's not forget that using magic creatures from the Academy faction is going to be an awesome combination with the relocate target friendly magic creature ability on Miranda. Now, once again, Avkall going in for Grant Gate. Grant Gate has been the deck of this best of 5, I have to say. We've seen it so many times right now, and it's definitely been a deck that has come out extremely strong in most of the matchups so far. Winning once for Matrix and once for Avkall, it is so strong. It did give Matrix a loss in the very first game, but that is unfortunately what you get picking the wrong creatures in your first starting hand. But boy, he's really well set up for going for this gate right at this turn if he wants to, just increasing 1 fortune there. He does go for the increased fortune. Does this mean Gate is incoming? Moving his creature up instead of keeping it down there is definitely a good option. Evade on the Rakshasa would stop any damage from that Maniac, so it's a good move moving him up, but it does leave him vulnerable in the second row. Will he pull something with the Gate to shield that he needs? This is going to be the big question here, guys. Now, as Avkall says, there are 2 town portals ready for Matrix, but Gate to shield comes down. Unfortunately, it's nothing too strong. Hellfire Maniac does come out, and this will give him lots of potential damage to both of these creatures, and does mean that the Wizard Tutor comes out of the game instantly, and the Rakshasa has already dealt 4 damage. Great move from Avkall, who does get some of that board control back, and the Fate Bender is going to be quite strong as well. Now we have to be careful here because those town portals could be quite strong against anything Avkall comes out with, and this may be an excellent counter thanks to those town portals to any types of early gates from Avkall's side. This could be a very good deck to try and finally beat Avkall and bring the score back to 2-all. 1 pair and 1 Dark Assassin in his hand are quite nice to see. The Dark Assassin, if you don't get it on the first turn, isn't necessarily that strong. Maybe in certain situations to try and come back after a board wipe, it can be useful, but right now I see that pair to be much more of a threat for Avkall than the Dark Assassin. He does go for an Unstable Djinn. Now this is going to be interesting. When Unstable Djinn attacks, you pay 2 resources if you cannot deal 2 damage to Unstable Djinn. Interesting move here, and that could be either a very strong creature or a very tricky one to play. Good move as well, moving the Hellfire Maniac down here on the 4th row, dealing the first bit of damage to the Jhin, meaning that the Hellfire Maniac is going to be killing off the Jhin in the next turn. Now, he is going to be losing his Hellfire Maniac, but that is okay. He does finish off the Rakshasa with a Firebolt, taking away most of that attack damage output from Matrix. He is going to be effectively clearing out the board in this go. This does 4 action points he can play around with. Succubus does come out here. He does have a Hole of Amnesia if he wants to play it. There we go. And, oh, interesting. He sees everything here, and this is going to be very, very strong. Will he choose to discard the Void Ripple, the Father Wrath, Sky's Wrath, or the Town Portal? Bearing in mind that he still has another Town Portal. He does go for Town Portal. Very interesting choice there. I probably would not have done that myself. But it does mean that he gets that extra damage on the Fate Bender by discarding a card. He boosted the Fate Bender up to 2. The Hellfire Maniac does come into play, dealing 4 damage to that bottom row creature. The Unstable Jhin goes into Matrix's library. Graveyard. Oh, interesting move here. Just using a Parry Death Seeker to open up 1 row. I don't know why. This is going to be a very interesting choice on Matrix's side, deciding just basically to take the damage. It looks like Avkall is in an excellent position here to be able to start getting damage dealt and potentially winning this 3rd game, giving him a victory in this best of 5 scenario. Another Gate to Shield coming in for Avkall. Hikyu is definitely a good choice here. Coming in, boosting up a creature, giving him so much extra damage output, bringing Avkall down, Matrix out down to 5 health points. Another pair comes out for Matrix, but this is not going to be enough. Hikyu 4 damage output, and whenever it plays or enters the battleground, it gives +1 damage to an allied creature, and this is going to be so close, guys. This is basically a GG for Avkall. All Avkall needs to do is attack with Hikyu, and it looks like it's going to be a GG. Once Avkall attacks with Hikyu, he can boost up one of those succubuses, succubuses, I don't know, but one of those creatures, and this will give him just what he needs in terms of damage to be able to deal 5 damage to Matrix, giving him the victory in this best of 5 scenario, showing us that Avkall is definitely still got his game and is definitely still the world champion so far against Matrix.disc. Congratulations to both our players for playing this well. Yeah, it's been a very interesting few games from the IEMs, and it's been a great victory from Avkall. We are going to have a few questions here for our champions, but congratulations to Avkall already. And that was definitely over quicker than I expected it to be. We may hang on a bit longer at the booth to try and see if we get any challenges for our 2 champions.
Teraz będzie prawdopodobnie grał z Benem Duel of Champions, czyli jeden z nich będzie miał okazję wygrać. Zagrać tak. Jest to zeszłoroczny Duel of Champions.
And we're going to ask Matrix a few questions first. Matrix, how do you feel about all this?
We're not in the camp. Now I feel better about it. How do I feel about the match?
Yeah, how did it go for you? I mean, you didn't have the best hands. You used that ground gate, sadly, quite poorly in the first go, but it came back second go quite nicely for you. But then Avkall starts using it, and that was basically your downfall from there.
I was kind of expecting that if he lost the game to it, he might want to play it, because I think he used this kind of strategy earlier on, and I picked Cassandra because it's a all-round good deck, and I did draw three broken bridges, which is the perfect draw against Garant Gate, unless he gets unlucky and doesn't get to play his gates, because when he doesn't get to play his gates, well, there's nothing important for me to bounce. And in the end, I just got a disgusting draw in a 3rd game. I mean, similar with the game 1 with the Garant Gate, it's a very much luck-based, luck-dependent deck, and just luck wasn't on my side. And as well in the last game, I picked the Miranda because of all her bounce spells. But on the other hand, again, this was something to count on luck. Because if he gets Path of the Ancestors, I cannot bounce the Fatty that has just been deployed. On the other hand, if I survive till 6 mana and 6 magic, well, then I just destroy him with lightning, fork lightning. Didn't happen, whatever.
Okay, well, sadly enough, you haven't won today, but do you think you'll be coming back into Duel of Champions anytime soon and trying to get that champion status back?
Yeah, of course, I'll be trying that. I don't know what does soon mean in this context for me, because I need to deal with whatever I need to deal with. And but probably I'm going back. It is possible that after base step 2 is released, excuse me, I'm going to at least dip in a little bit. And definitely, if and when there are going to be, because it's quite obvious that there will be more expansions, right? This game is not folding in. Is it? So when there will be another expansion, I'm pretty sure I'm going to come back to the more competitive play.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks a lot, Matrix, for playing with us today. It's been great having you. Great seeing you back into the game. And congratulations anyway on playing so well, because you have played quite well, and you predicted his movements quite well as well. Just unlucky, I guess, on his draws more than anything else. But thanks a lot for having us. We're going to have Avkall here in a second.
Attends, parce qu'on peut se faire dans les lives, donc je vais venir mettre Avkall, je finis ça, on finit le live et on arrête ça. Parce que là, ça va être intéressant de voir ça. Oui, on finit.
Okay, guys, we're about to finish here. Thanks a lot for joining us. Don't forget, we have got Avkall coming up any second now to ask a few questions, so don't move away too fast. Once again, if you're anywhere around Katowice this weekend, come and say hi. There are loads of things to win with Duel Champions and Mighty Quest for Epic Loot. We're just going to ask Avkall a few questions here. So Avkall, first of all, thanks for being here and congratulations on victory. What do you think of those games?
They were nice games, I think. I think he should have kept with the Garant. It's a powerful, now that we couldn't play Cultor, Garant is good.
I saw that you instantly switched to Garant after that first game, and it basically gave you the victory. What do you think of that deck?
I think it's really powerful, and it can't be quite consistent.
Now, when Matrix played on that second game, he got an excellent draw and got 2 Abyssal Lords, and that really gave him what he needed to win. Did you expect him to be that strong after being away from Duel Champions so long and you being practicing for so long?
I mean, there's nothing you can do against 2 of those. Abyssal Lord, I mean, when he drew the first turn 3 or 4, I knew I had lost it.
But then you switched to Garant Gate, and it just worked perfectly there on. You weren't able to get used of those Gates to Shield that much, but you still managed to get some great creatures out on the board. What was your feeling about Matrix's responses with his deck choice?
Well, I think Kasana normally is quite good against Garant, but I think he got a bit unlucky with his creature cards. He told me he had 3 bridges on hand, I don't know, but that's not the best starting hand.
So you've now won a second Zorm statue. Are you really just going to put it beside the old one? What are you going to do with it?
No, I want to win a 3rd so I can create a little Storm family, you know. It would be nice.
We can't give you all of them. That's unfortunate, but we just can't. But Avkall, thanks a lot for coming today, and congratulations once again on your win. It's great to see you back. What's your next move on Duel of Champions? Are you going to carry on doing competitive work with us, or what's your choice and ideas about the game?
Yeah, I think I will keep trying to play competitive as long as I think it's fun. That's the whole point with the game playing.
Okay, so we can expect to see lots of Avkall in the upcoming World Championship that is going to be announced very soon, we hope. And until then, thanks a lot, Avkall, for being with us today. Congratulations once again, and I'll let you go back and do some games against spectators.